Welcome to the Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Scam Economy Post Show. A little bit of a false start there, my bad. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that episode with Jacob. What's this? With Jacob Silverman. And I think that whole mystery around Guanyin Chen is so fascinating. And first of all, because I love mysteries. What a like I said at the end of the episode. Oh, what a caper. I think it's fascinating and good for Jacob for getting more information out of them. Really getting Binance to drop some more details than they've ever have before, regardless of whether they are telling it as it is or there is some finagling of the truth there. The information that they've provided is now on record, and as more details come out, it could be compared and contrasted with what they've said now, and we will see. We will see. As always, I will be accepting. I'll be taking. Accepting technically correct. Yes, I'll be taking phone calls. Just open up your Skype app and search Doomed Live, Doomed Live, Live. One word, Doomed Live. And as usual, it is my busy Thursday. You guys know how I roll on Thursdays. Got Scam Economy post show. Earlier in the day, I do my majority report spot in the fun half. Today, this past Thursday, or this Thursday, I also did a little bit up top for the first half of majority report because they had a pre-tape. It's been a busy Thursday. And I hear something happened over in the UK, right? I always mess this name up, but Mega Anaconda 6969 says no minute of silence for the Queen Bender. I don't know about a minute of silence, but here is a second of silence. God save the Queen. Folks, as always, I will read super chats. Drop your super chat if you're watching live on YouTube. Obviously, that's at youtube.com/MattBinder. You have to be there watching this, or you wouldn't know how to drop a super chat. I will also. Let me shout out the patrons right up top. Thank you to the patrons who have supported this show, and the most recent patrons are, where's this? Going back to the last Scam Economy episode. Here we go. Matt G, Targo, Ed B, and Forrest M. Thank you all so much for your support of this program. Without my patrons at patreon.com/MattBinder, none of what I do is possible. September so far has been a rough month for the Patreon page. Lost a number of patrons going from summer vacation into September. Financial reasons, a whole mountain of reasons, I'm sure. But I'm sure we will get back on track to hitting those Patreon goals thanks to all of you. Once again, patreon.com/MattBinder. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, hello. And if you're on Twitch, or even if you're not on Twitch, you should do this. Go to twitch.tv/MattBinder and connect your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber. Seriously, do it. It costs you nothing extra. What you do is you force Amazon to give me a tiny, tiny cut of your Amazon Prime subscription that you pay to Amazon. Seems like something that's a win-win-win-win-win, if you ask me. And if you don't want to give me your Twitch Prime subscription, do please give it to somebody. It's so silly to just not use that, and let Amazon walk away with extra dough for really no good reason. Why would we let Amazon have any extra money? They got enough. Why would we let them walk away with more? Come on. Come on. Let us. Ooh, it's one of those quiet Thursday nights. They happen every now and then. See the live stream lower viewer base than usual. The calls not coming in quite yet. Even Twitch slower start than usual. It happens. It happens. It's early September. I just got back from a vacation a few weeks ago. Things are settling back in. Oh, what's this? We got a call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Uh-oh. Maybe the problem is there's some Skype issues. What's going on here? Ooh, Skype could not connect the call. We got another caller right now. Let's take this call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, it's me. It's Tokyo Han. Sorry.
Hey, Tokyo Hans. No, sorry. Someone else just dropped 2 seconds where you called in, so perfect timing, really.
I called in. I just wanted to call in real quick for like 10 seconds. I just want to show off my new hat.
Oh, wait, I got to pull you up on the feed. One second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, do that.
Can you translate what it says on the hat for us?
It says Sagi Keizai.
What does that mean?
Scam economy.
What? Really?
Yeah.
No, stop.
So yeah, I just wanted to show off my new hat to you and to the viewers real quick.
What does it mean? It doesn't really mean scam economy. Does it?
Yeah. It's just a scam economy. Can you guys see that all right? Or
you made this hat?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's sick.
So
that's really awesome.
From now on, like when I'm reporting in on Friday mornings, I should say for me, Thursday nights for you, I'm going to wear this hat.
Damn, I should, the merch machine continues to move on Scam Economy, and I've not jumped the gun at all. How am I missing out here? I got to get some merch printed up. And that looks really cool. I could do like one of those, thanks. I could do like one of those like Japanese art style shirts with like it says it in English and then it has the Japanese like translation underneath. That is sick. That is awesome.
Yeah, if you want, I could just send you like a screenshot of it later on, and then you can kind of print it up yourself.
Oh yeah,
afterwards.
that'd be cool.
It takes a while for stuff to get to me over here. I decided to make it myself.
That would be cool. Well, you jumped the gun probably based on the fact that nothing like that even exists. So there's nothing to be sent over to you. But that is cool, man. Thanks for the cool artwork based on the show. That's awesome. I really like that.
All right, no problem. Sorry, I just want to say hey real quick. I just want to show this off real quick, and I'll send you a screenshot afterwards.
That's awesome. I really like that. Thanks a lot for sharing that. I guess we got a new king crown today with a Scam Economy hat on a day full of royalty and monarchy. And any news on the Abe front over in Japan? Anything moving since I last heard from you on Tuesday, I think it was?
A little bit. I forgot to mention it actually last time when I called in. When they initially they had a $1.8 million budget to use. One of the biggest things that like the public is like really mad about is that the place that they booked to have the ceremony cost $1.6 million.
I think you told me that.
Yeah. Just that one little small part was I missed it. But yeah, since the last night actually and this morning, there have been like huge protests in front of like, the parliament, their form of the parliament over here. And that like never happens in Japan. It's freaking crazy. So it's like I've only seen it like once or twice since I've been here for 15 years now, and it's crazy.
Oh wow. Did what was I gonna say? Did oh my god, I have a mental block. Oh yeah, how's everything? How is Japan dealing with the Queen Mother's loss?
They just kind of just mentioned it on the news. You know, they weren't really too big on her, I guess. I mean, the whole royalty thing and everything. But yeah, there's really not too much news. I've only watched the morning news in the morning, and they just said she died at 96. The UK is sad kind of thing. It's nothing really huge. And then they went on into some like comedy stuff. So,
Right. All right. There we go. All right. Thanks a lot for calling in and showing that cool artwork, man. I really appreciate it.
of course, of course. All right, guys, have a good day. I have to get to work in about 10 minutes anyway. I just wanted to say hi real quick.
Oh yeah. Have a great Friday afternoon, morning. What time do you go to work over there?
Yeah, I actually started like half an hour ago at 10:30, but I mean an hour ago, I should say now at 10:30. But
10:30. 10:30.
uh,
Doesn't Japanese like business culture mean you should be starting work at 7 a.m. and finishing at like 11 p.m.?
nah, I work for an IT company. It's a lot more progressive over here, and they're really loose with their
All right.
time starting things and whatnot.
All
So
right.
it's
Isn't that a
really laid
whole?
back over here.
Am I correct though that that is a legit like cultural thing over there about the work hours and the work
It,
and like the work
yeah, it
course culture?
it honestly it used to be, but within the last 5 years or so, it's become much more relaxed. They really get on you for not like getting, taking your holidays and everything. It's become much more like European style over here,
Oh
and
damn.
especially with like maternity and paternity leave and stuff. I actually took some last year, which was awesome, and it's been getting really, really good the last, really recently, last 5 or 6 years or so.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, good. Yeah, that's good. Damn, Japan's becoming. Maybe I got to move to Japan between them getting more progressive on work and then you telling me about their anti-religion stances. And I think that was your exact phrasing. And how
Yeah,
they're
my misphrasing it was, but yeah, non-religion is the better way to say it.
and
So
how
yeah.
they absolutely did what every country the opposite of what every country does when when one of their leaders is assassinated. Everyone else usually turns them into a saint regardless of how they were in life. Japan
Yeah,
apparently decides to multiply the shitting on someone after they die.
exactly, exactly.
I
And talk
love it.
about kicking somebody while they're down. It's insane.
Kicking while someone while they're down, more like yeah, I don't even know, like digging up in the cemetery and dropping a
Yep.
bomb down the hole. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, pretty much everybody in the country is taking a turn at the shovel, basically trying to get them in there deeper and deeper. It's great.
oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. All right, all right. Thanks a lot, Tokyo Hans. Always a pleasure.
All right, all right, thanks. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye. Dude, dude. All right, let's go to what is this? Skype acting up. Skype acting up big time. Maybe I should close Skype. Oh wait, someone's calling. Let's see if this works. If this works, I won't close Skype. But hey,
Yeah,
it's
hello.
Renee,
Yeah,
everybody, Renee. You didn't get enough on Tuesday when you were the guest
yeah.
on.
It's a kind of a special kind of calling because I'm also calling on behalf of a friend who's just joined the show. He's in the chat. He's
Oh,
from Pittsburgh.
oh,
He's of part Mapuche origin. He doesn't speak a lot of English, and he's also a bass player. So we kind of have
ah,
like the triumvirate
there
of
we
bass
go.
players.
How's he like in Pittsburgh?
He's, I mean, it has like his freedom, and he has his wife, and he works like on repairs and things like that. He's sort of like a handyman, but he also has like a lot of like the access for the local bands and stuff like that. Unfortunately for you, he's like more on the goth side, kind of like death rock, like more like heavy goth music, but still, it isn't like I guess um, I'm not sure if he uses makeup. I just use guyliner, so we have like the different flavors of what to do while playing bass. So basically, his point of view is kind of like different than mine. What he was saying to me, like wrote me like an introduction. Basically, he says that there's like a lot of misinformation in Chile, and he was like interested in like finding out about Bitcoin and stuff like that because along the native people, like among Mapuche and his audience, they don't know much about it. And basically, it's for him, it's kind of like economic warfare with the whole kind of like a business thing that I was told you about on Tuesday.
Right.
That was kind of like impressed upon us by the coup d'état. And probably I should give him his Bandcamp.
Oh yeah,
His
drop
Bandcamp
his.
is it's Jesus Crisis. That's kind of like Jesus without the last S. Crisis.bandcamp.com.
All right, that's a cool. It's a cool name.
Yeah. He has a cool logo type too. So I guess he could like work on the scam economy or Doom logo type. I guess like use whatever you want, like creepy letters or something like that.
Ah, it's nice. Cool.
Yeah. And well, for my end, I can also say that the recent I did kind of like I sent like a pic of a protest and things like that by the students. I'm not sure if you still have it. And there's also like they did like a kind of like a protest by at the metro station where they sat like on the edge of the platform.
Oh, I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah, and they also did one downtown.
How many people were there?
Like,
it's hard to sort of tell with with the way the how can you take a photo showing a single file protest? But that's what it is when they're sitting at the. How many people were doing this? And was it at multiple subway stations?
It was at that subway station, but they also coordinated with it downtown. That there was like a more massive and with riots and like throwing stuff and things like that at the government place at La Moneda, or presidential palace that's named after the mint. So it's kind of like, but probably it's kind of like it was like a colonial preview of how we're focused on the economy and banking and things, and trying to be like the South American Switzerland, by name. And well, and the recent thing is like that basically there was like the cabinet change, and basically there was like a lot of the criticism was like there was like a lot of the old guard from the more from the previous center left administration, from the Socialist Party. That's kind of like the Socialist Party in Spain being more like moderate. And because the ones that were like more radical kind of like split and joined like the new parties that were formed.
Ah.
And basically, yeah, there's sort of like a drive towards moderation and trying to provide like certain like economic incentives in order to quiet people down about their worries about their economic future that might have weighed into their decision. And they're at the same time they're preparing the Senate met in a session in order to prepare a new process of because that's the other thing. It wasn't like a complete dead stop, but there could be like another process of like a new representatives to form a new assembly in order to choose a different draft of the Constitution if the right doesn't block it and there's some funny business once again until they decide to commit to another strategy, shall we say, by winning the elections or by a coup or anything like that, as I am and was afraid of. Right, but basically it's like the usual suspects of people like from the like people that were kind of proven to be like bought by the big corporations and business companies, especially foreign business companies, and that guy Ponce Lerou, the lithium king, Shout out to John Lithium. Shout out to John Lithium in the chat. Basically, that he was like involved in a scandal that I didn't mention about with pensions and stuff like that. I said that it was like a so threefold. The thing is that he got like charged with that, like insider trading, and then was
Right.
acquitted, and just was only forced. Well, not acquitted, but he was like, they like discounted, cut down like hugely the amount that the fine that he was supposed to pay. So it was just practically for a very wealthy person, it was just a slap on the wrist.
Right. Well, that's sadly the way those things go, pretty much everywhere.
Right. Okay. Right. It's what I thought scam economy would also entail, like the old-fashioned kind of like grift and things like that, and not just this whole blockchain thing. Right. Okay.
Well, no. The scam account. I mean, eventually, what I'm going to do is obviously,
right.
And I'm sure there'll be situations where that arises even before I plan for it. But yeah, I think we'll be covering maybe some
right. Well,
non-crypto or even crypto adjacent.
There's going to be like talks between this guy and Musk, and if it's going to also be like sort of like a pincer movement with Venezuela or something like that, and because this is like kind of like an old-fashioned kind of style of money, old money meeting, but both, I guess, for the people in the chat talking about the Queen as a queen colonizer and stuff like that, like two people from both colonized countries and from the colonization perspective, I guess, involved in a sort of like apartheid.
Right.
Okay, that's me signing off with the South American beat.
No, thanks for the call, Renee, and the update. And I really enjoyed having you on Tuesday. So looking forward to
yeah, cheers for that.
You know,
and well, my friend is like one of those that his parents gave him that name, like a left-leaning name, like Vladimir, for Vladimir Lenin. So hello to Vladimir. I did my best to translate what you wanted to say. He didn't want to use Skype and didn't want to call in.
It's all right. He's a first-time listener, so I get it. Why are you gonna jump right in, right off the bat, right? I mean,
and basically, I would have to been like simultaneously like translating for him, or he'd have like his wife to translate for him. But basically, he wanted to state that difference of opinion and stuff like that. But at first we kind of were like kind of like agreeing on that there was like something fishy about the guy that was like involved in the electionary process, meeting with that former football hooligan and shit. So, okay.
Right. Thanks for the call, Renee. Always a pleasure. All right, let's go to bloop bloop. Let's go to let's see. What am I doing? I'm clicking everything but what I need to click. Just opened up the wrong thing. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's me again.
Hey, Zoe, how are you? What would you like to talk about?
Well, my queen is dead.
Oh, right. I always forget that.
Yeah.
How weird is that you guys over in Canada still look at her as your royal highness?
Because as far as I know, English Canada just likes having a queen.
Yeah, it's so weird because like you guys don't have the connection. Like, first of all, the whole thing is ridiculous, but at least like the British people have like sort of a direct connection. It's weird that like Canada and the other like countries that are part of the Commonwealth do that too, because it seems like there's just nothing there. Like, why would you guys over in Canada, a whole ocean away, care about the Queen?
Well, personally, I don't. I actually really despise the fact that I'm in a monarchy.
Lies.
And especially
you were crying today. I know it, Zoe. You were tears streaming down your eyes. My queen! My queen!
Yes. A queen with who I have no possible connection, who doesn't like represent me whatsoever
I mean, I even
because
thought it
she's a
was weird. I even thought it was weird that like some people in Britain, like I just don't like. Listen, all right. I'm not someone who gets sad over people um, uh, dying who I don't know. Usually, I mean, sure, there's carve outs for certain. I can tell you when there's a death in pro wrestling, I'm usually like, oh man, oh no. Maybe it ruins my day, but I'm not like in mourning. Um, but I know people do get attached to people they watch on TV, things like that. So I try to be understanding, even though I personally don't get it. But then some of the reactions about the Queen I've seen are even well beyond that. I've seen takes where it's like, I feel like my own mum died today. It's like, are you kidding me? What? Are you what?
yeah.
That's sad. You don't know this woman. She didn't even know you existed. You want to feel sad because you watched her on TV for decades or whatever, or you liked her or whatever. Fine, okay, but you're feeling like your own mother has passed away. Sorry, that is just 10 steps too far for me.
Yeah. Uh, well, so yeah, the French Canadian perspective is very different because like she's the English queen. So like honestly kind of feels like a bit of a colonizing presence to see her on like all our money and all that because like we ain't English and somehow she's our head of state and like she's my queen and it's like I don't understand. Uh, and as far as I understand, the rest of Canada kind of likes having a queen because it kind of feels special now, you know? Like there's this kind of like cachet to having like, ooh, we have a queen.
Yeah, it's like totally a tourist thing. Like it's totally a money making thing for the country. Which I mean, like, all right, I guess I get that. Sure, all right. But I mean, there's like also we have tourist traps here in the U.S. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mourn when I don't know when Mickey Mouse. What's the equivalent to the death of Mickey Mouse? That's the equivalent of our royalty, by the way. Mickey Mouse in Disney World. Yeah, I don't know. I guess when I can't think. I don't know. Like even when a president dies here, it's not like how they act in the UK with the Queen. It's really weird. It's weird. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I saw some serious takes too about how like this is like the UK's 9/11, and it's like what?
Oh my god.
What? No, it's not. She was always going to die. We knew we knew that, right? Like I hope none of these people are under the belief that she could have lived forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the equivalent of like a lot of people dying in a mass terrorist attack, obviously well before their time. I mean, the woman was 96 years old. I mean, bless her for living that long. Bless anyone who lives even longer than that. But when you get up to that age, I feel like when you pass on, it's like, oh, well, that was a life well lived. It's not really like, oh my God, I can't believe it, she died. It's like, well, it was in the cards.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like trying to portray that all of Canada is like in tears, but I think the reason why she is like there's no real movement for like Canadian republicanism, like actual republicanism, not like the Republican Party. And for Misha, yeah, she's on the $20 bills and all of our coins.
All right. My dad points out in the chat that my grandma passed away at 96, much like the Queen. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, I was very sad when my grandma passed away, but it wasn't a national tragedy or something that was like unexpected. Like I wish she would have lived longer, but it's not like the equivalent of like someone going to work and dying in a terrorist attack. It's
Yeah, no,
when you
definitely not the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
And so yeah, no, there is different difference in feelings largely, and I also want to talk about her relationship with the province because it's what I know best.
Isn't she? Oh,
Sh
someone. My dad's also pointing out in the chat. Isn't the queen on all your coins over
Coins,
there?
yes. I
Uh,
just said that,
Oh,
yes.
you did. I'm sorry. I missed. I was
$20,
so. I was so.
$20 bills
I was. Oh, she's
and
on the bills
coins.
too.
Yes.
Um. Wait. Oh, she's on multiple monies.
Just the $20 and the coins.
All the coins.
Every coin, yes.
What? How many coin denominations do you have?
Well, we used to have 1 cent, but they've been like we don't make them anymore since 10 years. After that, 5, 10, 25, 50, $1, $2.
Damn. Damn, all your money? I mean, we have presidents on a single coin denomination and a single bill denomination, but we don't have like George Washington ain't on all of our coins, and he was our
Yeah.
president, unlike you guys over there who who have the English queen. I mean, I know she's your queen too, but come on, she's never
No, I
she's
know.
never cared about Canada.
Oh yeah, she's come here very little times, honestly, for being that old. Uh, yeah, that. So yeah, all our like face, like
How
those are
many times? I'm
face, all
looking it
our
up right now.
faces.
How many times has Queen Elizabeth been to Canada? Let's see. Let's see.
Not that much.
Oh, well, excuse you, Zoe, but the
Oh,
Queen visited Canada
oh,
22 times during her reign.
yeah, she's our queen.
Right, 22 since 1952. Yeah, I guess that's guess she could
Like,
have guess she could have I mean, that's less than geez, how many times? Wait, she was reigned for 70 years, right? 70 divided by 22, so that's like every what 3 years she came to Canada. I guess that would be correct. I'm bad with math, but I'm
yeah.
sure it
Also,
was less as she went on. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, she first went there in 1957. And the last time she visited all you Canadians, 2010. She hadn't been
yeah,
there in 12 years.
yeah. Also, last time she's been in the province of Quebec at all is 1992. But
Um,
that was just for like a thing in the suburbs of Ottawa, so barely counts. Really, the last time she's actually visited here, like inside, was 76.
Jeez.
Because famously was booed on multiple occasions during visits here, especially at the heights of the separatist movements, and that made her not like it very much. Uh, there's the infamous it's a Truncheon Saturday, and in 60, oh my god, one something like that, she came in and basically a riot started in Quebec City. Yeah, 61, thank you. So like she was in a car, how do you call that? Like a car, little, when there's a bunch of cars following.
Oh, like oh my god, I'm having a mental block. I know exactly what you're
Oh,
talking about.
yeah,
Oh my god.
carcade.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, Oh my god, I can't even. Motorcade. There we go.
Motorcade. Thank you. Okay, yes, there was a motorcade, and a lot of people were protesting her. And as their riot started, it should be noted that the truncheon started swinging much before any violence on part of the protesters even started. Like, even the CBC News correspondent there, like, noted the fact that the police acted more on a fear of riot than the actual evidence of riot. So already early showing of the police being bastards. So, and basically because the cops started hitting that only like got the crowd more like enraged, and it kind of got out of control. So like, she doesn't have a great track record here.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So like, the last official visit here was to open the 1976 Montreal Summer Olympics, which is kind of a bit awful that she was the one to open our Olympic Games, which, the 2010 was the last time she came. That was also the Olympic Games in Vancouver.
Ah.
So she just comes here to start Olympic Games.
Well,
That's it, because apparently that's her job.
everyone loves the queen until she's flying around and opening up their Olympics. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
But
it's the what's been the most insane reaction you've seen up there? Up there, where you are in Canada,
Up
like
there, yeah,
like
where I am,
TV wise, news wise.
I've not really seen the news. I can't say I watched the news much. I've not seen very crazy reactions, honestly. I mean, around me, it's mostly been like, oh, I guess she's dead now. We're gonna have new money and stamps and whatnot.
Oh right, you think it's gonna get worse?
W- Worse than.
Like in terms of it's gonna get the love for the queen's image is going to get even more over the top, not less.
I don't know that it's gonna change much.
Got it.
Like, I mean, I think Elizabeth did have, like, you know, because she was queen for like so long, and like basically the entire lives of so many people, like people grew up with her and like liked her image. So like, it's gonna change with having like some random old fart that no one knows.
Well,
But I don't.
people know who her son is.
Yeah, but not as well as her.
I don't know. He was married to Princess Di.
Oh, right. I wasn't alive for that, so it didn't matter to me.
Oh, okay. Was she? Wait, well, hold on. Did she? Was she? Did she die before you were born?
Yeah, I'm not that
Wow.
old.
Wow, I don't remember when she. I remember. I remember. I remember seeing it on the news. I remember it quite vividly. Actually, I was at my friend's house playing Nintendo 64. Uh,
Yeah, no.
and the his babysitter was
When did
came.
she die?
Jeez, if it's Nintendo 64, it's got to have been after what 95, 96. So she died in 97. In fact, we just the anniversary of her death was just 1 week ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was born in 99, so I wouldn't know. Uh,
Damn.
so, yeah, though the best thing that happened at the 76 Olympics was the naked guy running across the field. Better than the Queen. So, yeah, don't know that I have much more to say about.
No, but that's thanks for calling in because I totally forgot that you all up there have to pretend that
I am a British subject. Yep.
yes, it's amazing. It
Yeah,
truly
I hate
is.
it.
It
I
truly
absolutely hate.
is.
I
Um,
really want to get rid of the monarchy. Like that's why I just really wish the fucking English would do it. But until then, I'm gonna keep just trying to get her out of at least this one country.
well,
I
I
like it when the other Commonwealth country decide to fuck off with the Queen. Like, we need more of that, please. Well, oh my god, I said Queen. It's the King now. I just need to say King.
you have to
Ain't
get
that
used
some
to
shit?
it. You have to get used to your new king.
Ugh. I I just hope we use uh the old photos of him just like we did. Because that's the thing, the Pound has like the nice young pictures of Elizabeth. We have her as like an old grandma, so our money has old Queen Elizabeth.
Well, that's maybe that makes it all the better. Maybe it's like you guys get to give the queen just one little like, oh, we'll remember you as an old lady. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's Canadian bills with her young. I mean, there's even Canadian bills with her as like a child, but yeah, we aged her. They didn't.
Oh man, alive. What are we going to do? Oh man, what are we gonna do with this monarchy thing? I mean, I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
on a majority part earlier today, we were talking. I was talking. We were talking about what we thought this meant for the future of the monarchy, and Brandon Sutton of the Discourse said he thought that this was going to be the beginning of the end. Even if it kept going on for like a decade or two, everyone was going to look at this moment as like the beginning of the fall of the public opinion on all this. And I said, I don't know. I said I actually think England at least is going to double
Yeah,
down and become even crazier about the monarchy. They're going to use this like a reason to unite or whatever.
yeah,
But he brought up the point about like Wales and Ireland and Scotland, and maybe I could see that. I could see this being something to continue to chip away at the UK, I guess.
yeah,
But and in turn also I guess Canada maybe can be part of that in terms of like your subserviency to the Queen or King or whomever, the monarchy in general.
yeah.
But in terms of England, I really do think they're gonna double down on the whole royal family thing.
I don't feel either that like the monarchy is going anywhere right now. I do hope that maybe it's going to get the occupied Ireland to finally be liberated and be a part of the Republic as it always should have.
That would be nice.
Uh, and yeah, I don't feel like we're getting rid of the monarchy here either in any time
Really?
soon. I don't feel like it. Like I said, I feel like there is like a general feeling of like national identity tied to the idea of being a monarchy. Like
Interesting.
maybe I'm totally wrong, but that's the way I see it. Like there is maybe not like the same fervor as in England, but there is like a sense of pride.
Wow. All right. I that
And
even in Canada.
maybe it's also a part of wanting to like hit back in the fucking French here.
That
Uh,
would be something.
one last thing. Megan Nakonda, va donc chier. There.
What's that?
Wanted to wanted to hear me speak French, so
Ah.
I said some nice words.
What did you say? Please let
You're a
me.
great guy.
Oh, me specifically?
No, I said it to the Gaian.
Oh, I would have preferred. I would have preferred if
chat.
it was about me. Thanks a lot. Whose show is this?
No, you're good. You're good.
Thank you so much for the call, Zoe. That was a lot of fun to talk about
Yeah.
the Queen with a Canadian. I hope you
I like hating the Queen. Or
my
king.
my thoughts will be with you as you go through this difficult time.
Ugh.
And please hang in there. Hang in there.
I'd rather you mispronounce French than tell me that.
Hang in there,
Oh.
Zoe, because you're oh my God, how do I pronounce this? Your
Mhm.
long live your Rene.
Oh my god. Not even close.
How do you pronounce
Yeah,
it?
long live my Renee. That's
How,
cool.
how do you pronounce it? Give it to me.
Rhine.
Rhine. Okay, so we got Vive la Reine.
Oh my god, the way you said Rhine was like it's such a sounded like such a strong Quebec accent.
Really? Really? I actually felt like I sounded a little bit German there, actually.
When you go, yeah, but when you go like Rhine,
Yeah, I feel like I sound German there. I feel like I was like nine. So wait,
Rhine.
it's Rhein, Rhein.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know why, but I
God.
feel like I'm sounding the German in me is really coming out because I'm part Prussian, and I don't know exactly which part of Prussia my family was from, but pretty sure it was the German part, the area that is now modern Germany. So I feel like I'm I'm really grabbing onto my long lost German roots there with my pronunciation. I don't think I could sound like a Frenchman.
No, not a
Rhine?
Frenchman. I meant Quebec.
Oh, wait, hold on. What's the difference?
What?
What's the difference? Don't people in Quebec just speak French?
Yeah, but we have an accent.
And I know you have an accent compared to Canada, but you have a separate accent from from people from France.
Oh my god. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I know. You guys pronounce it's like a combination of the two accents. Am I right?
Kind of, I guess. It's actually more akin to Ancien Régime French, basically pre-revolution French.
Okay.
Because after revolution, French underwent a huge change in many respects that we missed because we were far, so we didn't get the memo. So when you see old movies and you see like old French pre-revolution people speak like a very French accent of today, that's wrong. They speak our French.
Can you do me a favor? Can you say "Long live the Queen" for me in French?
Long live the Queen in French. Beau la reine.
What?
Mort la reine. Mort la reine. Wait, she's
hear.
already dead. I can't say that.
I don't hear. No, but that's what they say, right?
I know. I'm not saying that.
Oh, isn't it viva like viva la revolution?
Long
right?
live is
Google's lying to me. Google's lying to me then, because Google told me it's vive.
No, it's not. I'm lying to you is the thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to say, long live the Queen. Say, yeah, c'est it's longue vie à la reine. Mais yeah, la reine est morte, vive le roi. Actually, that's that would be the Queen is dead, long live the king.
I have a question for you before you go, Zoe. Do in Quebec, there are a lot of mimes?
Oh my god.
I always mimes just walking around all the time.
That's why are you bullying me and not the literal French guy in chat?
There's a literal French guy in chat. Where is this French person?
Yes, Meganaconda is French.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's why he mocks me all the time.
Oh, okay.
Take it on him.
you were a kid. I was gonna say you were around for the whole freedom fries thing here, were you? But you were
I
but a
did not.
child.
I don't remember it contemporary, no, whatever, you know what I mean. But I know about it. I know how much they hated just any mention of the word French and all that.
So weird. It was so weird. What a weird
It's
time to
really
be
weird.
alive. What a weird time to be alive. Now I'm falling into my what's the opposite of what's when you reminisce on something you fucking absolutely hated? Because
Uh,
that's what happens to me every now and then with like the years 2001 to like 2006 or 7. It's like really
uh,
the absolute worst. Oh,
it's like bad nostalgia.
yes. Yes.
I
Well,
don't know.
Zoe, I feel like I keep saying goodbye to you, and then I keep thinking of something else to
Yeah,
bring up.
just
Right,
keep on the edge.
right. But it was this was a lot of fun. It was a pleasure to
Yeah.
talk with you about your Royal Majesty, and again, my thoughts will be my thoughts with you,
hmm
thoughts and prayers, and congratulations on the new king.
Yeah, I'm really excited for his death too. That's not gonna take long. He's old as balls.
He's 70. He's 70,
Yeah, that's
which for men
almost.
which for men is actually no, it's true. Yeah, it's he's not a young he's been prince for a very long time, a bit weird to be a prince in your 60s and 70s. But that was what he was dealing with, and now he finally gets to be king.
Yeah, he's got
Um
his 5 second of glory.
yeah, and then we'll get Prince William, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll get his son, Prince George. Wow, we're not going to have a
Mm.
queen for a long time if ever again.
Well, I mean, if like a bunch of people die, maybe.
Well, it'd have to be, yeah. I don't think I was looking at that family tree. A lot of people would have to there'd be a massacre. It'd be a freaking,
Yeah.
like have to be like a red wedding
Yeah,
sort
who
of Game of
knows?
Thrones situation for that to happen. I guess
Maybe.
I guess never say never though, but
Yeah, maybe there is a 9/11
yeah, cuz
waiting to happen.
if Prince William something was to happen to Prince William, it would be his son. And if something was to happen to his son, what happens then? I guess
It depends if the son has a kid or
I'm talking about like in your
if he
scenario where
dies.
we're
Does
just
he have like a sibling?
I believe he does. But I don't know.
It would go to the sibling.
In what scenario? So it's impossible for Prince Harry to be king at this point, right?
If all the kids die, yes.
Ah, okay.
All of William's kids die, it goes to
All right. I've
William.
been watching House of Dragon. Right. Would it be
I've not.
could
Hmm?
could the queen have named her own uh heir to the throne and it
I
not
think
have been
that
and not have been her son, or
I
she
think
couldn't
that's
do that?
technically a thing she can do, but also not. Also a thing she would do because
It'd been pretty fucking funny if she did. I would have
it would be,
respected
yeah,
that.
just before she dies and
I
just
would have
some
respected that.
random person.
You would have been really funny. It would have been really funny.
What?
On her deathbed, she declared Meghan Markle as her
Her successor.
I know
An American queen.
I know they did not like each other apparently, but it would have been
Oh.
funny. It would have been the ultimate real life shit posting.
Oh my god, yeah. Plus an American queen, it would be like
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Right, that would have been yeah. All right,
it
so
would
so after Prince William's got a son, Prince George, and Prince George got a sister, Prince Charlotte, and Prince
Oh, there we
Charlotte, but then they got a brother, Prince Louis. Would Prince Louis come before
Well,
Prince Charlotte, or would it go in age order after Prince
it's
George?
age.
Even
They
even
abolished the gender thing.
okay, because in Game of Thrones they have not, and
No,
Game,
yeah,
Game,
because
Game of Thrones is
sucked.
Game of
Present.
Thrones for me is a period piece. I don't know if you have ever heard my.
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I tried. There's too many characters. so I can't follow what the fuck is going on. But no, there's the gender thing in England has been abolished,
Oh,
so it goes to.
Andrew Kowalski in the YouTube chat with the ultimate shit posting here. It would have been hilarious if
Oh my god!
Prince Andrew became the new king. That would have been funny. Yes, that would have been very funny. And talk about the end of the royal family. That would have I think
That would have
fast tracked that. Yes.
or they would have just gotten like him on the wayside to make place for like the non-controversial one.
All right.
But I must also leave on this. As much as she lived, she didn't manage to break the record of longest reigning monarch in the world.
But she was the longest. She was the longest reigning in the UK, I believe.
Yes, and the second longest in the world. She did not beat Louis XIV, Le Roi Soleil of France.
Oh, really?
Nope, she did not make it. 2 years.
Oh, so close. So close.
Yeah, 2 years.
Little bit less than 3
No one
years.
can touch it.
Not even a little bit less than 3 years. About 2 years and 2.3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The Sun King, no one can reach him.
Wow, that's it. He'll forever be the longest reigning monarch, I think.
Well, until we get like science that gets you rejuvenated or whatever.
Break it.
When they get like,
I'm gonna make this bet right here, right now, Zoe.
okay,
King Charles is going to live to 143 years old and surprise everybody.
yeah, no, he will have to. Well, maybe during his reign, they'll finally like refine the adrenochrome
right
technologies.
I don't think I actually don't to get I guess go back to being a little bit serious now. I don't think we'll ever get that. I don't think that technology will ever be. I think
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to get people living a little bit longer. Maybe maybe it'll be more common for people to hit their 90s, their hundreds. Maybe we'll even 110. I know some people even what's the oldest person in history? Wasn't like 120 or something.
Something like that.
Let me see. Jean Calment of France, who died in 1997. She lived to the age of 122 years and 164 days.
Oh, Jean.
Jean. I don't know.
Jean.
Yeah,
it's Jean.
120.
The same as Jeanne d'Arc,
right?
Which you called Joan for some reason.
All right. Well, sorry. So I could see maybe like 122 maybe becoming more 120 becoming more reachable and more people live into their 90s, maybe early hundreds. Yeah. But we ain't ever finding the fountain of eternal life or whatever. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's just fun to think about. If we
Is it though?
No,
I
it's
don't know
not.
If I'd
Absolutely
wanna,
not.
Yeah, I mean,
I was being sarcastic. It would be horrible to live so long.
Because here's the thing: people would still die. They just wouldn't die of old age. So imagine living to like 500 or something, and like
you get hit by a bus.
But your grandkid at like they died when they were like I don't know 20. Like, that'd be a long time to go without with that on your mind. You know what I mean? Yeah, that'd be sad. I don't know if I want that. Sad. Yeah, I don't know if I want to live that life.
Oh, we can make that. That's a good plot for a movie or something. Like living so long, you forget yourself. Ooh.
Yeah.
Then you realize we're like cool, and now you're old. And
well, I'm pretty sure vampire movies have dealt with.
Oh
that.
Yeah.
Have dealt with that, where like they have like the riches from like when they were living in like the 17 or 1800s or something, when they like married some like rich socialite. And then they died, and like 200 years ago, and they're living without them or whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I think maybe even Interview with a Vampire dealt with that. Now that I'm thinking about it,
maybe I've not watched that.
It's
remember when they fought for the Confederacy or something.
Yeah, something like that. I remember that wasn't that that was in True Blood, something like that.
That's Vampire Diaries. Has
Oh,
that?
is it? I don't know Vampire Diaries. That one's a little bit too teen drama for me, I think.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you know that, but I do.
Maybe because you were a teen when it came out, were you?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I was a teen,
makes
but also
sense
I
then.
did not watch it.
I've solved that mystery for you, though.
I did not watch it.
Oh, I could hold on. Drew Parker is saying a character on True Blood's name, and I used to be able to say their name, just like Bill the vampire said their name in the show. Let me try here. Did you know? Do you know True Blood?
I know fuck all about True
Okay,
Blood.
True Blood was a great show. Those first 2 seasons were fantastic, and then I feel like it sort of jumped the shark in the third season. But here, this is Drew Parker. I'm gonna try to say this name exactly like Bill the Vampire said in True Blood. I used to be able to do it. Let's see if I still got it. Ready?
Okay.
Suki.
That's the
Suki.
name.
Her name was Suki.
Isn't that like someone from New Jersey or something?
I have no. Oh, no, you're thinking of Snooki
Oh,
from
Is that
Jersey Shore, but
Yeah.
Bill the Vampire and Suki were the two main characters on True Blood. That show was like my favorite show. Those first 2 seasons, I thought it was fantastic, and then they really fucking jumped the shark in the third season. I don't remember what happened. I think they introduced way too many weird things. It was just vampires and regular people, and then they introduced like shapeshifters and werewolves and all this stuff, and it was like, no, I liked it much better when it was like people existed and vampires existed, and vampires were like a marginalized class of people. I thought that was fun concept, and we're really well done. And then they just got too much. It became too much with all the different monster races.
yeah. That sounds like a show. I don't know I would watch it. I don't watch many shows, so yeah. That's I didn't.
I feel like I'm trying to think right now. What there was recently another show I did pretty good in terms of Righteous Gemstones. How the children call John Goodman's character, his kids, it's Daddy. Yeah,
Oh my
Daddy,
God.
Daddy. Oh, come on, Daddy.
What the hell?
I think it's hilarious. How that's my I think that's my current favorite show.
Okay.
Righteous Gemstones, really good. I tried watching the Amazon's Lord of the Rings show.
The Rings of Power.
And I know people have been complaining because of they dared to make like a black elf or something like that.
There's black people and stuff.
I don't care about that stuff. That's ridiculous. It's a fantasy show. There, of course, there gonna be black elves because it's fantasy. It's all made up. But my critique of the show is it's way too whimsical. Like it's way too much whimsy for me. I was never a big fan of fantasy. Something like I like horror. Sci-fi is I'm picky about sci-fi too. Like I liked Star Wars because it wasn't the regular sci-fi sort of like futuristic. I liked the idea of it was like the past in space, and like
I mean, it's
how,
a samurai movie.
and how like the planets were like people in like rags in the desert. I was never a big Star Trek person because I don't like the idea of like futuristic spaceships and like the futuristic
Space communism.
costumes, and that never did it for me. I didn't like that type of sci-fi. Same way with fantasy. I don't like the whimsical type fantasy. I like the gritty, like Game of Thrones. I think does it great in terms of like fantasy. It's
Because it's like all historical and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. It's dark and gritty. I don't know. The main problem with the Rings of Power is that the female dwarves don't have beards, and that corrupts the great late J.R.R. Tolkien's true vision. No, I don't actually care. I don't.
Right. Meg Anaconda says Star Trek has a strong commie fan base. Yeah, I know. I again never was a big Star Trek fan, but I know Star Trek apparently was very good. Or not even apparently. I know this at least from the original series with like Captain Kirk and Spock. Were very good on like social justice issues and civil rights issues. Same Twilight Zone is probably my favorite TV series of all time. I have
Oh, yeah.
watched every episode of Twilight Zone multiple times. Always watch it when it's on TV with the marathons. I'm a huge Twilight Zone fan. So there's another example of the type of like sci-fi horror type stuff I like. It's more Twilight Zone than like futuristic, but Star Trek type stuff. But even though I know Star Trek is good politics, could just never get into it. Could never.
Mhm.
It's just not my type of show.
Oh, incidentally, Kirk, William Shatner, he from here.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, it's William Shatner
Yeah.
is also in a number of Twilight Zone episodes. In fact, he's in what is probably the most well-known Twilight Zone episode of all time, the one with the monster on the wing of the plane, Nightmare at what is it? Nightmare at what is it? 20,000 feet.
Honestly, the only things I know about Twilight Zone mostly come from Futurama.
No. That's unacceptable. Seriously, watch Twilight Zone. I think anyone who's unfamiliar with Twilight Zone will watch it. Every episode still holds up. You will watch it and be shocked at some of these storylines that Rod Serling was coming up with in the late 1950s, early 60s. It blows like some of these concepts blow away modern like storylines. Like you will be shocked at what Rod Serling was coming up with then, and also you will totally be shocked to see how many modern movies and TV shows have straight up ripped things directly from Twilight Zone episodes. It
Yeah.
is probably the most influential TV show ever. And it's fantastic. My favorite show of all time, easily. And I'm getting serious here, actually, because everyone should check out Twilight Zone.
I mean, I've always wanted to check it out, but I've never found it anywhere, so I don't know how.
All right. Well, it's on Netflix, or I think it's on. No,
It's on
Pa-
Netflix?
No, it's on Paramount Plus now because it's owned by
Oh,
Viacom.
Paramount Plus, the
Yeah.
thing we have in Canada, right? No, we don't.
You don't have that?
I'm pretty sure we don't have Paramount Plus.
Let me see. Twilight Zone streaming in Canada. Let's see. I don't know where you could watch Twilight Zone in Canada. I'm sorry.
You can't. It's banned. Literally 1984 here.
Well, I would buy the show. Actually, I mean, I actually own the entire series as a DVD box set.
Oh, you could
Uh,
send it to me.
I could,
Nah.
but Zoe, I said this is like the 100th time I've said this, but honestly,
Oh, by the way, I also no.
have a great night. Great
you too.
talking with you. I always like when people call in and I just get to shoot the shit, and this was a great
Yeah,
call
no,
to
that
do
was
that.
nice.
Take care. Have a great night.
Take care, Joe.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, time just flies when you're having fun talking about the Queen and Twilight Zone. And hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Matt, it's Tony from Texas.
Hey, Tony. And before you say a word, I'm sorry I haven't gotten you anything you need for your art yet for the intro of the show. I am a bad person. I still am behind on getting the old members only shows up that weren't appearing on Patreon. I'm still behind on getting people their stickers. I am really behind. I am drowning in to-do list things that I've not been checked off yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do, honestly, because I cannot catch up. But I'm
Don't
trying.
sweat it.
I'm trying.
Don't sweat it. It's the other assets have been slow going, so it's
Okay, good.
like it can literally be the last thing that I add into it, and so just don't. I like yanking your chain about it, but don't even stress about it. Get them to me when you can. I know you got a lot on your plate, and Patreon.com/Matt Bender so he can afford some help, y'all.
There we go. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I
really, I
did.
think that would be the first thing I need to do. Actually, get someone to help me with like these administrative tasks I can't get my wrap my my head around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But so what would you like to talk about though, Tony?
Um, you know, I a thought occurred to me how I'm just waiting for um some right wing talking heads to uh chide like leftists or centrists or libs or whatever about like not giving enough fucks about the dead queen. Um,
Oh, I read on Majority Report today a fantastic take about the Queen from Stephen Miller, Donald
oh
Trump's
yeah,
former
yeah. Oh, that's right. That's
senior
right. Yeah,
advisor.
I
Really,
remember that.
really
I
over
remember
the
that.
top. Really,
And
absolutely over the top.
it's like,
Uh,
don't y'all fetishize a country that was founded on saying "fuck you" to British royalty? Like
these people are horny for authoritarianism.
they
They
are.
are absolutely 100% dying to be ruled by a leader who will have undeniable, no, that's not the word I'm looking for, but just total and complete rule over them.
Yep. Yeah. They want to be stepped on. They want boots to lick, and it breaks their heart to see a pair of very old dusty boots that 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 they can no longer drench in their saliva. It's hilarious and pathetic and gross and saddening all at the same time. But on a
Yes.
lighter note, I also was inspired to bring up one of my favorite TV shows from the early aughts. Did you ever watch Clone High?
No, I've never watched Clone High.
Never watched Clone High.
What is that?
Okay, so it was an animated show, lasted one season. It originally aired on like MTV, in like 2001, 2002. And it's created by Chris Miller and Phil Lord, and was produced by Bill Lawrence. Bill Lawrence being the creator of like Scrubs and Cougar Town and all that, Spin City. And Chris Miller and Phil Lord, later went on to do like the Lego Movie and Into the Spider-Verse and a bunch of other like really good directing. But the premise of the show was that in the late 80s, a secret government organization cloned all of these famous people and raised them in this like generic like Midwestern US town, and the show follows them during their high school years. And the main cast is uh, Abraham Lincoln, the clone of Abe Lincoln, Joan of
Wow.
Arc, and
Whoa.
Mahatma Gandhi are like the three best buds, and the clone of JFK and the clone of Cleopatra are like Mr. and Mrs. Popular, and the whole thing is like
This sounds like it would have been QAnon's favorite TV show.
it was also so fucking hilarious. It's like it was kind of like a parody of like the Dawson's Creek Felicity type show. So like every episode was a very special episode of Clone High, and Will
love it.
Forte does Abe Lincoln's voice. It's got a bunch of people from like Mad TV and SNL and Scrubs and like all these people that Bill Lawrence worked with over the years. And that just if y'all can find it, check it out.
What's it
Clone
called
High.
again?
Clone High.
Clone High. Let's see if we could find it on. Oh, it was on MTV originally. I don't remember this at all. How long did
Yeah.
how long did it last? It was just one
It was
season, 13 episodes.
One season, 13 episodes, and the last couple episodes were not aired in the U.S.
Wow.
They only aired in Canada.
I'm looking at this cast of characters. Will Forte. Why does Nicole Sullivan sound familiar? Who's this? Oh,
Mad
Nicole
TV.
Sullivan, Mad TV, and she's also Carrie's friend on King of Queens.
Hmm.
Who else we got? We got who's Michael McDonald? Okay, Mad TV, Mad TV.
Mad TV, yeah.
A lot of Mad TV people. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
We got Andy
there-
Dick. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. It's a very short cameo. Neil
Zach
Flynn's
Braff
got
as well.
Zach Braff, Sarah Chalk, and Donald Faison all have bit roles.
All right, let's see where I can
yeah.
find this. Clone High streaming. Let's see.
I don't know if you can. Like, I bought a DVD.
Oh yes, you can see it on Paramount Plus.
Oh snap! Okay.
And they've got all 13 episodes as well.
Nice. Yeah, the DVD set that I got, it's a 2-disc little box set, and it was the weirdest like data layout. The first disc has the first 5 episodes and nothing else. And then the second disc has the last 8 episodes and all of the bonus content, the director's commentary, and like all the little special stuff, all on the second disc, along with 8 episodes in the first disc. I was just always confused by that lopsidedness in like watchable content between the 2 discs. Like, why not 8 episodes on the first disc or 9 episodes on the first disc, and then the second one with the, I don't know. Anyways.
All right.
That's all I got to ramble about.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah. But check it out. And thanks for all of the wonderful coverage on the Majority Report today. It was nice to have the boys back to clown.
All right, always a pleasure talking with you, Tony. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at. Apparently, oh my God, if this is true, let me say goodbye and then I'll bring this up. I'm trying to see what the hell happened here online. Something happened.
Ooh.
Yeah. Talk to you soon, Tony.
Yeah, catch you next week.
Take care. Bye. I'm gonna take calls in a second. Apparently, jeez. There was a shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Yes, again. Multiple people shot in Uvalde, Texas at a memorial for the 21 lost to the last mass shooting there. I'm trying to find out more. This is horrible. Horrible. Oh my. All right, let's go to the next call.
Hello.
Oh, hello?
Hey,
what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Spocko.
Oh, hey, Spocko. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice it was. I took the call, didn't even notice it was your name, but there it is sitting right in front of me. Spocko. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Scam Economy. How you doing, Spocko? What would you to talk about?
Welcome to the Scam Economy Post Show.
Oh, I got
with your host, Matt Bender.
I'm gonna have to clip
and
that.
Special guest, the voice.
Right. And special guest, me. How are you? What were they talking about?
I'm good, and I called in partly because your dad said he liked it when I called in because he felt like he got smarter afterwards, which was very nice of him to say. So thank you very much, Alan. I appreciate it. So the thing is, when I call in, I don't want to rehash stuff. I always want to, add something new to the story that should be useful and helpful and explain things. And the thing that I had just written about, and I put it up a link, I think, in there, was the way that I really appreciated the way that the DOJ was going about their process, and I kind of wanted to point it out that it's great because they have used and their understanding of the way that Donald Trump thinks and acts and responds, not only in the legal realm, but in the world of social media and in the media. And they have taken his standard practices and used them against him. And as my metaphor, kind of my analogy, is the TV show Leverage. Did you ever see that show?
No, I have not.
They had the two different series. One they just did one last year called Leverage Redemption, and basically it's a group of people. There's a con man, there's a thief, there's a hacker, somebody who's the muscle, the security, and the premise is that the rich and powerful take what they want, and for the rest of us, we need leverage, basically. And so what they did was they went out and had, for example, the guy who is kind of like head of this used to be the head of insurance scams. And he'd go around and he'd find out that, people who'd ripped them off and their cons and stuff like that. So what they do is they try and get justice for people who the system has failed them. And what I really like about the show, and sometimes mysteries, is that they understand, they study their mark, and they plan ahead. And they said, if we do this, they will probably do that. And if they do that, we'll take advantage of the fact that they've done that. We don't just assume, we just don't just guess. And what I've liked about what the DOJ has done is every time that they've come up with an action, like the very first time, the search warrant, then Donald Trump, screams like, well, unseal the search warrant. And, they assumed that the DOJ wouldn't do it. And they did. And when they did, it had him dug deeper. And then the next time they said, unseal the affidavit, and, thinking that they won't. And they do. And it gets them dig deeper again and again and again. Up until the point where it is destroying him in a couple of critical places. The place where he's, forces people like Bill Barr to say, well, yeah, I actually got to do that. And I have been watching another show recently that has to do with the security system. It's called The Capture, and it's on, I think it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah. And it's a BBC One, and it's a current one, and it basically talks about the way that the intelligence community manipulates and can manipulate data and information to get what they want. And one of the things that I wanted to point out to people as they're reading all of this stuff about Mar-a-Lago and security and stuff, I worked with the companies that did high-level computer security. To the point where we can't talk about it because it's classified kind of stuff. And one of the things that I learned from that process is that there are things that they can do and that they know and they've known for a long time, but they can't get anybody to talk about it because if they did, it would reveal, something else. And you hear this all the time about, sources and methods. So in this case, and when my work was with them, found out that, China had screwed up our power grids at two different times, one in Florida and one in northern northeast United States. But they couldn't talk about it because if it did, it would be an act of war. And a private entity had uncovered this, but they couldn't talk about it because the State Department said, don't do anything. So what they did is they said, okay, you investigate it, but don't do anything. And you release a report about it. And then we'll say, as a State Department, say, well, this private company did this. And so as you're looking and listening to all the stories about the secret documents and all those things, understand that all of these documents, they've known about these documents for years. And each one of those things, and this was actually confirmed by CIA Chief John Brennan, every one of the documents has a person attached to it. So somebody printed that out in a SCIF someplace, put a sheet on it, put it in a folder, took it to the briefing room with them, and gave it to Donald Trump at some point. Now, if they didn't get that back, they know they didn't get that back. That person is responsible for that. All that is indexed. They know every single time. And at some point, the CIA and the military figured out Trump is leaking this either through intentional conversations or other people get it, like Jared. And how do they know this? Well, they can't tell Trump this. They can't say, "Oh, we're up on Jared's calls, we're up on things like that." So they get a third party, sometimes Israeli, sometimes Canada, etc., who are listening into these calls, who let them know, by the way, we got to tell you that Jared just had a conversation and is revealing that information that only one person was printed out that document, okay? And that military guy who never got it back, we say, you're the only one who had this. You're the only one who printed this out, and you printed out that specific version that said, XYZ, and nobody else had that one. And then it showed up in an signals intercept in a call between, one of our agents. That's how they know that how this happened. Again, this happened back in 2018 and 19. There's a couple stories about this at the time, but they couldn't do anything because he was still the president. And also they didn't want to say anything about the fact that, oh my God, the president of the United States, we can't trust him with this information. So what do? They could, give him fake information, or they don't give him the total picture. Or the third thing, which is what they did, is they kept track of every single thing that they had ever given him and started, shutting stuff down behind the scenes, saying this information's blown. We can't use it anymore. So I think it's kind of interesting now when they're talking about, well, we don't know what's in these documents, or we don't, and what's there. It's like, oh, we know, and we've known for some time. And it's really now, it becomes a case is figuring out how Trump can incriminate himself on the information right now versus he incriminated himself back in 2019. So they're using the fact that between, when he got out of office and now that, oh, something might have happened bad or someone might have got to that. That's not when it happened. I mean, it happened years ago. Okay. But this case of what could have happened with this stuff now, it gives them the ability to charge him for stuff that happened back when he was president. And so a lot of this stuff and this behind the scenes things that are happening are trying to figure out how to get him to blame, self-incriminate like he always does, and pull away any kinds of residual support that he might be getting from people for like when he was president, so they're doing it for now when he's no longer president and doesn't have access to that stuff. And, the things that I've been looking at is, and I always like to encourage certain aspects of it, which in the current, thing, and to get back to my thing about leverage is if somebody is going to do something and they're going to do something outrageous and overreact, then take advantage of it when it happens. Okay. And in this case, it was Trump saying, no nukes. There are no nukes. And then they turned around and it's like, okay, yeah, there are nukes. Okay. There are nuke documents. And then hammer that until they come up with a new excuse. So, the two people who I've been, following on this, on the actual is Marcy Wheeler, Empty Wheel, who I, sure a lot of people follow. But she had focused on the storage of the documents and all of the various different ways the classified documents have to be securely stored. And I'm such a nerd, I'm like, I read the 59-page document about these are the requirements for a SCIF and how to be stored and things like that. That was the physical side. I worked on the computer security side. And it is like, it's not like the knock list in, Mission Impossible, with the black vault in Langley, but it is really, really secure until it gets out into like a piece of paper that someone could take a photograph of, and that's the point where, again, every time that it was out of that person who handed it to Trump and he took it back to his residence, who was around him, White House, that was the real vulnerable time. And the people who are most likely to have perhaps used it in various different ways, one would have been, Jared, and they kind of used it for him early on with Qatar, I think it was, for funding. But they're not going to tell you the really worst part of the document, the worst part of the things that he, took. And I like the phrase that Marcy Wheeler used, or somebody called it. It's called a Goldilocks document that's used in espionage cases. And what that means is when you are in an espionage case, you don't want to tell people, okay, we're going to go to a case that here's what it was revealed, because it's got to be in a jury and it can't be concealed. So you pick something that's really bad, but not horribly bad. Okay. And the sad news about this is the things that Trump had done that were horribly, horribly bad, we'll never know, but somebody frankly should know. I mean, there should be somebody up there who said it was so bad that, this is the bad thing, but we can't tell you. And that's what's going on, I think, right now. And beside the, intelligence community and the, Justice Department stuff is going, we've got to nail him down in this other way, because he really, really screwed us. But and they're whittling away at all of his whatever kind of excuses every single day. So I hope that that explains some stuff about what's going on. I think I really don't want to say what I know from spy movies, is very different than what I know from reading, 209-page documents about, storage requirements, and then my real life experience working with the company that did, the kind of, computer security that they can't talk about.
Oh, that was for someone like me who's been trying to follow along, and I felt like I've been behind nonstop since August when this all broke, because I dared to take some time away from the news for a bit. That was a very good primer on the latest stuff that is going on and what's happening there. So thank you, Spaka.
Why, thank you. The thing that I wanted to, bring up, and I like to bring up successes, and this is something that you might have known about as well, and or has heard about, was the taking down of Kiwi Farms.
Oh, yes.
You heard about that?
Yes.
You might have talked about that the other day. But,
I actually have not. I've been completely, and I feel horrible about it, because I was gonna do a stream with Keffels before this all happened, and then it just, things happened, and I went away, and we didn't get to do that stream, and I thought we would do it when I got back, I should say, and then all this stuff happened to her. Yeah, it's been. Cannot imagine what she's been going through. It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's a huge success story, and
huge success story for what she's been able to do, absolutely. But like what she had to go through, though, oh my God.
Oh God, yes, and it's one of those things that I work and I talk and counsel people on how to go about busting people who have done horrible things and threatening them and stuff online. But I watched the ways that Kiwi Farms worked, and understand this is a very sophisticated group of people who not only sophisticated technically in terms of hiding stuff, but they used people's misunderstanding or willful ignorance of the law and free speech and stuff like that to avoid to stay up, and that laws haven't caught up, and that they don't necessarily get hit with harassment cases or doxing cases because of what part of the country they're in and what the law follows up on. But what I knew about in terms of the distributed denial of service things, and so actually maybe instead of me describing it, because you might have a better understanding of maybe you want to tell people what Kiwi Farms is and what they did. So then we talk about what happened that kind of shut them down.
Oh yeah, sure. So it's just a really long-standing forum that basically went after people who they called LOL cows. Anyone who basically they thought was someone who they could bully on the internet, maybe someone who makes cringe videos. They often targeted trans people. And quite frankly, it was a site set up because the guy who set it up thought that 4chan wasn't extreme enough. Like what he was looking to do was even too much for 4chan. And, he had his community and they would harass these people. And there have been reports that a few people who've been harassed by Kiwi Farms over the years have committed suicide. Now, I'm not one to say that these sort of people commit suicide over just one thing like that. Usually, this is a a very complicated issue where multiple things are happening to someone. But without a doubt, Kiwi Farms in some of these cases were one of those things that were weighing on this person, and they killed themselves. And this time around, they went after Keffels. I don't remember why they went after her, other than she was a prominent trans person on the internet who was growing in popularity, and they swatted her, they doxed her. She had to move to multiple different places. I believe right now she is in Ireland, and I'm not doxing her myself. This is known information based on what she lets the public know. And she's there because she had to get away from. She had to go somewhere where they would be hardest for them to bother her. And she took up this sort of mantle as after this happened to her, of trying to get people to trying to get people to help do something to stop Kiwi Farms from harassing people, and it seems like she was successful. She got Cloudflare to drop them, and that was a long campaign she had going on over the past few weeks. Hosting providers, domain registrars have dropped them. They're not completely off the internet because there'll always be some sort of company willing to host such material. But when you get to those sort of hosts, your site's not so regularly online, let's put it that way. It's much easier to take a site down via like DDoS attacks and things like that. And Kiwi Farms seems to be as done for as they could be.
It's funny. It's like the DDoS attacks had been, and still are. It can be used. Oftentimes, it's used to generate revenue for people. I mean, they attack retail sites, and they say, okay, so we make $30,000 an hour, and so you're going to pay us $30,000 to stay up. And I found out in my research that the DDoS attack, you can take out a medium-sized web site for like pocket change, like $20. Okay. And, even less. And that was, and I know this because when I was writing for Firedog Lake, I had I actually was doing a review of the book by Richard Clark about drones, and the site was taken down by a DDoS attack. And it was, so we didn't get to do it, which really was very, very annoying to me. And I was like, I knew that this was something that happens. And afterwards, I found out just how easy it is to be done and how inexpensive it is and how expensive it is to stay up. You got to go to somebody like Cloudflare. And Cloudflare, what they would do is when they would, give shelter for human rights groups and other ones that were under attack that couldn't afford it. Okay, but if you're a commercial entity, they're like going, well, why should we do it for you? But they would say, this is part of the game that Cloudflare, one of the reasons they said, well, we protect human rights people, and it's like going, yeah, but Kiwi Farms is not a human rights group. But the thing that I also was thinking about specifically was I noticed when Biden had his speech, he talked about threats and threats of violence. And one of the ways that I told people was, if you can't go after them criminally, then you look to find for other methods that you can go after the people who are doing the attack. And I wrote a piece about how to use defamation lawsuits in order to go after them. And so I pointed to another big success, which was Ruby Freeman, who was the person who was in Georgia, her and her daughter, Shay Moss. They were harassed and they were defamed by OAN. And the two other groups that had kind of come out against, they doxed them and they also spread misinformation, was the Gateway Pundit and Rudy Giuliani. So the criminal cases against her and Shay didn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, it wasn't until I think Reuters and maybe MSNBC kind of brought to light the fact that they had multiple death threats and people showing up, and the cops didn't follow up on it at all until, after it got national attention. And even then, those cases haven't gone forward. So they filed these 3 cases and they won. There was a multi-million-dollar settlement, which it was sealed. We don't know, with OAN. I followed up on the 2 other cases with the Gateway Pundit and with Rudy Giuliani. And those one's moved back to a Mississippi court. It's still in process. But still, the criminal stuff isn't going forward. And this is the part of the case about, again, it's the Donald Trump methodology, which is he will make it like it's okay to use violence and threats of violence and political violence in order to get what you want. And the people who are doing it, there are no consequences because law enforcement won't go after them. The media actually might report on it, but it's not something that they, do, because they're always afraid, we might be caught on, censoring somebody. And politically, nobody wants to come up and say, we need to pass certain laws, like laws about doxing, laws about harassing, laws to protect election workers, laws to protect public health workers. And we're only seeing a few of those laws show up because even the politicians, they're afraid because if they bring up anything, they'll be cast as like, you're trying to ban free speech. So I was glad to see that particular win, the Kiwi Farms one, knowing that they still kind of exist. But the next step that I would like, which is where they track down the people who are doing it, and where they violated the kind of laws, and sometimes they don't, because there's certain harassment laws that don't, that don't exist, and file them in those cases in the states wherever they live.
It's also going to be hard in a lot of cases to even figure out who said what.
By the way, this is the who said what. It is not that hard. Matter of fact, that's the other thing that I had written about recently, which is I found out that Facebook and some of these other groups is one thing, but also I know about how, email methods. There are Kiwi Farms, though, they sound fairly sophisticated, but from what I know, there's a lot of data that we have the capability of knowing, but we don't use it. And by we, I mean, like, unless you are of a certain level and it becomes a national security thing,
like Google and Facebook. I mean, but
money like that.
in a lot of cases, these people, without a doubt, just set up a throwaway Gmail account for the first time ever, just for that purpose, and never give Google any sort of actual information about themselves. They're probably also hiding behind VPN or more than one VPN. So there are times if they're set out to just do something like this, they can pretty much probably do it without getting caught. It's when someone does something like this without realizing how connected their accounts are, which does happen. But with Kiwi Farms members, they most likely are being very careful about it.
Well, yeah, and also the other thing I learned in terms of, and it was from reading about some of the Facebook whistleblowers information, is that and working with the group in Idaho, the Idaho 97 people, that there is behind the scenes coordination behind the scenes, and that these Facebook, YouTube, and other things, they can detect when multiple people are working together to harass somebody. All right. And so
they could probably tell that. Yeah, they could probably.
Yeah. And
again, it depends data. It depends where it's happening, and but they probably could put that all together. But yeah, it seems plausible that they would be able to do that for some situations.
But they don't do it, and so that's why I found out there's a way to do it on criminal wise. They don't do it. There's something called a civil conspiracy legal case, which is you get and this was a particular case, which is if you are like a super PAC that has a lot of money that's funding this coordination harassment, then you get the super PAC for them coordinating the harassment in a civil case. So again, it's kind of like if you can't get the legal people on the criminal side, go for the civil side. If you're not going to be able to get the media to come out and say, we're afraid of free speech, then I say focus on, the threats of violence and those things, because that breaks the law and it is never, protected speech. So those are the things that I'm hoping that
a lot of times though, especially in the case of Kiwi Farms, I mean, it would not be surprising to find out some of this was coordinated with like a specific, would not be surprising. But I would say the vast majority of these harassment campaigns are literally just people looking for something to do, and they're just horrible people. I would say it's usually not funding behind it. There's usually not some like organization or group behind it. The campaign is literally these types of people flock to these places online because they know they will find like-minded people to do these things to people, and they get a kick out of it. Sadly, that's the case.
What do you think ever? I mean, it's one thing to, because I think that there's certain kinds of goading each other on. But one of the things that when there are no consequences that people see, like you hear the certain thing and then, a year later, so-and-so, there was some kind of story about somebody go to prison for, 3 years. It's not connected. People don't see that there can be consequences. And I think that's a problem.
Right. No, I agree.
That's all the exciting things I have to say, besides the fact I'm very excited to see that Steve Bannon does the perp walk.
Yes.
And they cut away. They should have spent more time on him with the handcuffs. That's what I wanted to see, the handcuffs. We want to see that perp walk.
I agree. But I guess we did get something though. Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. And thank you for listening. I had a good day today, because I found another TV on the street, and it worked. I got a 42-inch plasma screen on the street.
What? Wow.
It's in our neighborhood that just happens. People move out and they, it's like it costs too much to move it or whatever, and so they just leave it on the street. So that was my that's how I get all of my electronics are, basically found items. I'm talking to you on through a TV monitor, a 42-inch Samsung TV monitor I found on the street, and across the way is a 44-inch LG monitor. I haven't paid for any of them, so I know how to fix them if they're broken. So that's what. That's the Spocko technology way. Stone knives and bear skins in this century, but I can figure it out.
Damn. All right. Wow. I'm now jealous of your. It's not even dumpster diving because you're just walking down the street. It's
one step up from dumpster diving. Just walk on your neighborhood.
Right. Damn. Well, Spocko, it was a pleasure talking with you tonight. Have a great night.
Later. Thanks. Bye.
All right, folks. Jeez, I had some great calls tonight. I don't know. Maybe I'll take one more quick call. And while I wait for that, because I saw some people tried to call in a few seconds ago, I'll wait for that. I will. Oh, Jacob with a $20 super sticker. Thank you so much. The pair dancing under confetti, taking his hat off to say, "You are amazing." Aw, thank you. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh my God, is this me?
This is you. How are you doing?
Hi, Matt. It's Andy. How you doing?
Hey, Andy. I'm doing good. What would you like to talk about tonight?
Thank you for taking my call. I'm going to keep it quick. I know it's late. You've been up all day doing shows. So I did want to chime in on one thing before I get to the issue I wanted to talk about. If everyone's sharing their TV show recommendations, I'm going to say The Leftovers on HBO. Did you ever see it?
Sounds familiar. That's the one where all of a sudden one day a bunch of people disappear?
Yeah, one day 2% of the world's population vanishes. And the cool part is the show picks up 3 years later. So it doesn't deal with like the immediate aftermath, which might seem more exciting. It deals with like how do people reconcile that happening and like working into their daily lives afterwards. Like, so
Yes.
there's these like not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it sounds. I think I did watch a few episodes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why I stopped watching it. I didn't think it was bad.
It's awesome. They wrote an ending like it has a finale.
Wow.
The whole thing is
What a
28
rarity.
episodes. Yeah, the whole thing is 28 episodes long. It's 3 seasons, 2 episodes of 10, 2 seasons of 10, 1 season of 8. It has my favorite season finale of a show ever. Damon Lindelof from Lost
Don't
is the head
spoil
writer.
it. Don't spoil it.
I will just say, for as many questions as they pose, at the end you are given an acceptable answer,
Wow.
which is more than I could say.
Wow. That really is rare in TV. Maybe I should get back into it. There's a lot of shows.
I can't recommend it enough. Yeah.
There's a lot of shows that I start watching and then for some reason I just don't finish. Like, for example, I started watching Breaking Bad a long time ago.
Okay.
Thought it was good. Got into a few episodes and then never watched it again. Don't know why.
You know what? Like, it is an amazing show. It's one of the best shows that's been on TV. But if it doesn't grab you, don't keep watching it. You won't feel better.
Right.
Like, Breaking Bad won't make you feel good by the end. You just feel worse. It's like well done and fun to see.
It seems like a show I would be into though. I don't know why I didn't. It didn't do it for me. I mean, I liked it, but it didn't, like, for some reason I was just able to stop watching, not even consciously. Just like I just stopped and didn't miss it. It was very weird.
Yeah. I would say, like, if you're in the mood, try it again. It's about a bad man getting worse. That's about what it happens in the whole show. So.
I like that. It's about a bad man getting worse.
Yeah, he's never good. He's just he's a bad guy who wanted an excuse to be bad. That's what the show is about. So, I mean, if you're into that, otherwise, yeah,
Sounds
you
like,
can watch.
yeah. I mean, something for the. I mean, I gotta watch it. It's like one of those shows where like every you gotta watch it.
It's very well made. It's never boring. But if it doesn't grab you, don't worry about it, man. There's better shows out there. There's others.
Maybe. So, what would you like to talk about?
So the issue I want to talk about tonight was I don't know how much an issue it is. I feel like it probably is in the U.S. I live in Winnipeg. I'm in Canada. So something that we're dealing with, especially in my city, is like or say houselessness crisis. And something. Sorry, I'm just going to close your tab. I can see it at the corner of my eye, and it's really, really, really.
Oh wait, why am I? This
Uh,
is weird. Why is the Majority Report background on my thing? That's very weird.
I love it. I'm an MR fan. I've been a member since 2015. So.
Was that in my background every time I spoke to a caller? That's weird.
I didn't notice it.
Odd. Okay, continue.
Anyway, I keep it up. It's good memories. Yeah. So an issue I wanted to talk about because, like I said, here Winnipeg is analogous to like Minneapolis or something, right? Like a Midwest kind of city. Something we're dealing with a lot is a huge problem with like homelessness, houselessness. And so an issue that's come up a lot in the city is like public toilets, which is like a funny subject and people feel weird talking about it sometimes. But it speaks to a larger subject of like public resources being available for people.
Right.
And especially for people who are like maybe visiting your city. And they are there and you want to facilitate people walking around and exploring your city and being able to enjoy it without having to like, go into like Subway and buy a drink just to use the toilet or something. Or, for the on the ground kind of stuff of if you live here, you should be able to just be out and be able to take care of that. So there's an author I wanted to recommend if you are looking for people to talk to about this. She had a book in 2018. Sorry, I have my article brought up here. It's an author named Leslie Lowe, Leslie with a Z or Z for Americans. And it's called No Place to Go, How Public Toilets Fail Our Private Needs. And it really speaks to how it can kind of, it's a not entirely unintentional freezing out of people who have special needs. It even speaks to like transgender issues, elderly people, sort of freezing people out of public spaces by not offering them these amenities when they're in public spaces. When they like tell you to like go to the park or go to this outdoor event, but there is nowhere to use a restroom. And they're sort of forcing you into these places that, you have to be a paying customer just to use this thing that like literally every human being needs to use at some point during the day.
Right. No, it's a huge issue. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what it's like in New York. I imagine it might be a little more amenable. But...
It's bad. It's bad.
Okay.
There's barely any sort of public facilities for people in general, but especially problem for homeless individuals.
Exactly. Yeah. Like in Winnipeg, we've had a problem with a lot of like unhoused people take up in bus shelters. It gets super cold here. So we have like these glass enclosed bus shelters. And it became such an issue that so many people were kind of setting up in these places and there were like fires happening and stuff, which is not good, not safe. But the solution an entire section of town took was to just get rid of bus shelters rather than find people a place to be. And it speaks to this kind of dwindling of public spaces and this idea that you can just remove places for people to be, and as long as you don't see them, they're not there, but they're definitely there. So public toilets is seen as kind of an equalizing space where, hey, everybody needs to use it at some point. And it's kind of a way to build sort of from the ground up an idea that we need to be accommodating people again. We need to not be making these benches that you can't lay on if you have to, with like the things. So just a way to build public infrastructure to kind of help people because, homelessness, houselessness is a problem everywhere. And it's a way, having to use a bathroom is an equalizer. So
Right.
I thought maybe if you wanted to talk to someone about that, Leslie Lowe is someone who would be good to speak to.
How do you spell her name?
So Leslie with a Z, like Lez or Z. Sorry, I'm a Canadian. Lezlie.
Too many
L-
Canadians on this show.
Buddy, yeah, you're you know why? You're too kind, and you give us too much latitude when we call in. So, Lezliellowe, and the book is it's from 2018.
No Place to Go.
No Place. Yes. So, yeah, I will leave you there. I don't want to take too long in your show. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm a big fan of
Gotta
Game
ask
Economy.
you. I gotta interrupt your. I don't know why I did because I was enjoying hearing you say such nice things about me.
I'll
But,
keep praising you, buddy. I'll keep going.
There you go. How are you dealing with your loss, the Queen?
You know what? Like I took the picture down because we do a Shiva sort of thing, so we don't want to look at the photo. I covered up most Canadians. Zoe probably didn't tell you about this, but like we usually have a photo somewhere in the house, and we cover it up. I took it out of the shot here for the show tonight, but I mean it's been tough. Like she was like my mom and my grandmother. We prayed to her. We thanked her before every meal. She's on our money. She's on our our coins and our bills.
Right.
And,
I'm sorry.
the greatest tragedy is that Charles is going to be on there now, which is like way worse.
You think they're gonna you think they're gonna swap him out, or you think they're just gonna keep the Queen on there?
Like at a point they stopped because she's on our money, right? At a point they stopped updating the picture of her that went on the money. The last current photo of Elizabeth that was on our bills or our coins was like 2002. Because they knew it's not getting better. So now like Charles never looked good, man. So we're just gonna have like a Charles 20. No, thank you.
You guys just need to end it. Just stop putting them on your money.
I'm with Brandon. Honestly, this is the end of it.
You think so?
Yeah, like it was born out of a time when like the royals were the Kardashians of the early 20th century. And like they were a rich family, everyone could agree was rich and was interesting, even if they really weren't. But now we have good looking rich people who have good social. Like we don't need the royals.
All right, I'll put you down for that. Also, I'm fascinated. I know this is not news to me. I know, but when you accidentally were spelling out the name and used the Canadian Z, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by the fact that you guys say Zed. It's always fascinated me. I think
I feel like
I think I first discovered it like 20 years ago watching an episode of Degrassi.
buddy, I got Degrassi stories for you forever if you want. But
That's so
Yeah,
bizarre that
yeah,
like, you guys
I
go
feel
like
like it might
A,
be the
B,
top
C,
list.
D, E, F, G, and X, Y, Z. What? How could you guys do that?
yeah. Hold on though. The alphabet predates the song about the alphabet. So.
Right, but Z.
Doesn't fit the meter, but-
It's now just occurring to me that when Zoe spells her name out, she most likely says, "Oh, here's how you spell my name: Zoe." What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. In her head, she hits the Z key, then the 0, then the E. Yeah.
What? Z. Wow.
Shout outs to Zoe.
Wow. Do most Canadians say Z?
Yeah. That's just how we live. Yeah.
Are we being serious?
Yeah. Why would it be different? That's what we say.
I don't know. That's so bizarre to me. It's shocking. It's a real culture shock over here.
I feel like it's largely interchangeable. No one calls you out, but we're taught Zed for some weird like reason that like it probably is Zed because that's what the English say too. It might be one of those weird like those American split offs when you took the U out of all the OUR words.
I'm looking
I
up.
think it's just one of
I'm looking up right now. Why do the British pronounce Z as Z? And then there's a completely different page that says, "Why do Americans say Z but the British say Z?"
I'm fine with either. I'll accept either. But I'm gonna say if you're dealing with like why English, like the English people sing it a certain way. Like they have if you're an originalist, they've got the rights to that.
I
If
gotta.
they say it's Zed, it's Zed.
Mental Floss has the article. I trust them, so let's see what they have to say.
Okay.
Historically, both Z and Z were used pretty much interchangeably in both British and American English. Z is the oldest. Takes its name via French and Latin, that of its Greek equivalent Zeta. Z first appeared in print in the early 1400s. Okay, all right. So you guys had Z first. I'll accept it. All right, but I'm not gonna be saying it. It sounds weird.
No, look, you don't have to. I'm not going to police that. I'm not a language police.
During
Say-
the Revolutionary War, American English speakers looking to distance themselves from anything even vaguely British simply adopted the Z version as their own to make a stand. The name Z itself is thought to have originated as nothing more than a dialect variation of Z, probably influenced by the regular B, C, D, E pattern of much of the rest of the alphabet.
Fair point. Nothing else sounds like Zed in the entire alphabet.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah. So if Z is easier, go for it. I'm not going to stop you.
Z is not only easier, it just makes more sense. Like we
Yeah,
just
it fits the meter.
established.
If the song makes sense. I will say, as a Canadian, and the other Canadians in the chat, hello, can attest, when we're doing the ABC song as kids, your teacher uses Z because it just works better.
Right, it flows better in the song. Z sort of brings the whole song to like a very abrupt stop. Very weird.
Yeah, but that sort of fits the Canadian thing of just not being ultimately satisfying in the end.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's fine, but it's just sort of like, It's like any visit to Canada you've ever done. It was fine, but at the end you're like,
At the end, you're like, eh?
it was a Zed.
Right. Well, Andy, this was a fantastic call. Thank you so much. I will look into that guest suggestion. Sounds like it would make for a great episode. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can I give one shout out to the chat who last time I called in because I wear a hat and have a mustache called me knockoff Matt Leck. I would just like to say shout out to the chat.
You do give off a little bit of a Matt Leck-esque vibe, I guess, maybe. Yeah.
I'll take it.
There you go. Thanks a lot, Andy. Always
Thanks
a pleasure
so
when
much,
you call
I love
in.
the show. You're great. Thank you for having me on, and keep going, man. I watch every episode of Scam, watch every episode of Doom, I watch every episode of MR when you're on and even when you're not.
Thank you. I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
that. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye. All right, folks. I won't be taking any more calls. It's that time of the night where I'm feeling it. You could probably tell I'm out. I'm ready to hit the hay based on the fact that I apparently had the Majority Report background on for almost the entire show and did not realize. Apparently my dad mentioned it early on, and I didn't see his chat message. I will read the super chats, and then that's a lot of super chats. Can't complain about that, but all right, let me read these super chats. I already shouted out Jacob's $20 super sticker. Thank you. Midnight Pizza Man with a super chat. Cactus Matt, how do you feel about the Gripe Bomb and subsequent Ace Bite and Larry being over? Oh my God, this is such insidery wrestling stuff. Midnight Pizza Man, you paid a super chat for this question, but I can't give you an answer worthy of your price at 12 midnight after already doing about 3 hours of show. Can we save this for Tuesday so I could give you your money's worth? Wanda Valentine with a super chat. Thank you so much. No message. Just wanted to give me a super chat. Thank you. Kowalski with a super chat. Wake me up when September ends. I will do that, Kowalski. Renee with a super chat. Sorry, Zoe. Matt tricked you into quoting Morrissey. Then Philosophy Tube would be our trans queen, says Renee. Phil B with a super chat. $10 super chat. Gonna be quick. Pick up my call. I missed you, Phil B. I'm so sorry. Call in next week. You don't even got to drop a super chat to let me know. I will definitely be on the lookout for your call. Joseph Martinez with a super chat. Listen to Daughters 2010 album. Good stuff. Thank you. You're welcome for the suggestion. Renee with another super chat. Clip that Zoe call. I don't know if it was a clippable call. It was just all over the place. Pop culture stuff, funny stuff about the Queen, and I don't know if we would clip it. It's definitely a fun call to have on the stream, though. Phil B with another $10 super chat. Tony, apologies if I got it wrong. Tony is my other muse. Zoe too, good call. Phil B with another super chat, a $20 super chat now. Great show tonight. Amazing guest and story. Hope to catch you live again soon. Take my call next time. Spocko rules. Good stuff. Phil, next time you're watching the live stream, just say, hey, Phil here. I'd love to call. I will be on the lookout for your call first. You gave like $40 in super chat tonight, and I didn't get to your call. I'm so sorry. You can always give a super chat if you want, but you do not have to give a super chat to get my attention for a phone call next time. I promise. Jess from the West with a $10 super chat. Hey, dude, called in earlier. I'll try again next week. I am a teacher. Wanted to talk about my situation in the state of public education. Had some extra money for once. Thanks for the content. Enjoy your work. Thank you so much, Jess from the West. I will take your call again, too, next week. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. V is pronounced as Ved, Matt. What, really? Are you serious? A lot of super chats today. No patrons joined during the show. Patreon.com/MattBinder if you can. Once again, behind on patrons where we should be, and we lost some. So always appreciate if you could become a patron. But you guys really picked it up on the super chat front. Almost $100 in super chats tonight. On Tuesday, I think it was over $100. Really appreciate the support. I needed to. I think I mentioned it on Tuesday. I wanted to get a second monitor. Because it's not the one monitor thing is not working. I got my web browser open and it's covering a bunch of my live stream program windows, and this live stream program has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 default windows, like little windows for each little thing. So it is a huge help to have a second monitor. And I need to get that second monitor. And your super chat support will help me get that second monitor. Oh, Carl with a super chat here at the last minute. Research what happened with Keffels. More, I think you'll be surprised how much she misled people. Oh boy. I don't want to get into this right now. I don't think I can. But how did she mislead people? I mean, from my understanding, she was swatted. She had to move out of her home because she was swatted. She fundraised for money to fund her move. People gave her a lot of money. And she seems to be using that for the very purpose of moving. Oh, who should I rate on Twitch? Let me quickly thank the people who we got Robot Monkey Cat resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1 over on Twitch. 10-month subscriber. Thank you so much, Robot Monkey Cat. We also got from on Tuesday, but that's I'll name drop the Tuesday ones too. Sid Fishes and Professor Q and Don James 1676 all dropped me some bits. Thank you so much. Don James 1676 also resubscribed on Twitch, subscriber for 2 months. Tokyo Hans with 2 community gift subs on Tuesday. Thank you so much for the support. And Jersey Thompson, subscribe with Prime. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Twitch.tv/Matt Binder. Who should I raid? It was slow. It was a slow night, streamer wise. Great calls, but in terms of the number of viewers on both YouTube and Twitch, it was a slower than usual night. I wonder what's going on this week. What is it? Football season starting up again? People getting back to work, so they're not yet set in their nightly viewing habits. What was it? I wonder. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. That's right. Who am I rating? Who am I rating? Who am I rating? Who's CKS2? Amaranth has like 7,000 people watching. Let me throw it to someone who doesn't have too many people watching right now. Who have I not rated in a while? Let's raid the Progressive Brat. Haven't raided the Progressive Brat in a while. Not too many. Twitch people tonight. Amaranth has like 7,000 people watching. All right. My dad says you look tired, Matt. Catch some Zeds. All right. Gonna raid the Progressive Brat. All right, folks. I will see you all next time on this scam economy.